Hey everyone, in my recent videos, I've started a series where I tackle a particular domain in the field of DevOps and cloud native, all the hot technologies, and we try to see how we can work with that. In the past, we've done like around monitoring and API security and all sorts of things. So this video, I'm going to talk about another hot topic. KubeCon is coming up and everyone is talking about it. Platform engineering. So in this tutorial, we're going to see how you can build internal developer portals, how they can help, and introduce some nice, amazing new tools to you. So let's get started. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about internal developer portals, how you can eliminate clutter around infrastructure and deliver faster. We're going to talk about, all things around this. But before we move forward, let's talk a little bit more about what is the need. Okay, why are we even considering this? Why are we talking about it? So when we talk about internal developer platforms and tools, they are essential for platform engineering because they help to streamline the process and simplify the process of building and deploying software applications. And this whole platform engineering thing, it's basically a practice of building and maintaining the underlying infrastructure and services that support software development and deployment. Okay, and when we talk about internal developer platforms and the tools, that help platform engineers to do their jobs more efficiently, it does that by providing them with all the necessary resources to manage and automate the development and deployment process. These tools include like version controls and like build systems and stuff like that we'll be seeing in this video. I'll be introducing you to Port. Lastly, by using these tools such as Port, platform engineers can create a standard and repeatable process for software development and deployment, which helps to reduce errors and increases the reliability and scalability of the system. Additionally, internal developer platforms and tools allow for collaboration and communication between development teams, enabling them to work together more efficiently and effectively, because you don't want the developers to do all the work. Okay, so now let's talk about Port. So Port is an internal developer portal, which is a centralized platform that provides developers with the access to the tools and resources and the information that they need to build and deploy applications. And in order to be effective, an internal developer portal needs to have a context-rich software catalog with maturity and quality. So this means that the portal should also provide developers with the detailed information about the software assets that are available to them, including their level of maturity and quality. So check out the website Port, which is basically a developer platform that allows, that provides exactly this type of context-rich software catalog. It acts as a single source of truth for all the infrastructure assets and operations that exist within an organization's tech stack. This means that developers can easily find the resources they need to build and deploy applications without having to search through multiple systems and databases. In addition to providing a software catalog, Port also supports comprehensive developer service, self-service actions. This basically means that the developers can perform actions on the infrastructure assets and operations within the organization's tech stack in a self-service fashion. It includes actions such as provisioning a development environment, understanding who is the owner of a microservice, or any other unique use case that DevOps may want self-serve to self-serve and automate. So by providing developers with the comprehensive set of tools and resources and enabling them to perform actions in a self-service fashion, Port basically helps to increase developer productivity and reduce the time and resources required for software development and deployment. Some of the features include, as we can see over here, some of the use cases: Unify alerts, cloud resource catalog, Kubernetes and Argo CD visualization, cloud resource permissions, ephemeral environments, microservices, catalogs, IAC for developers, package management, on-call, and incident management. So most of the things that we talked about, like what an internal developer platform should have, Port basically covers that. If we talk about how it helps, if we talk about that, so creating a comprehensive software catalog is a critical aspect of platform engineering because it helps developers quickly and easily find the resources that they need to build and deploy applications. Now, this software catalog should contain all the software and infrastructure components in one place. For example, including like say your microservices, your monoliths, your deployments, your repos, your databases, and more stuff. So you can see a little bit more around how it works in the diagram and stuff over here. And by mapping all of these components in one place, which Port does, developers can easily understand the dependencies between them and identify any potential issues that may arise during development or deployment. This in turn can help reduce, as you mentioned already, time and resources required for self-development and deployment. Once the software catalog has been created, it is important to allow developers to provision, terminate, and perform day two operations on any asset exposed in that catalog within the policies that they have been set. This means that the developers can easily provision new resources, terminate unused ones, and manage the day-to-day operations on their applications without needing to involve platform engineers. I think that's pretty cool, giving them more, granular like control, but not expecting them to be experts, because developers don't want to do that. They mostly want to focus their time on writing code. And this way, by helping and enabling developers to self-serve in this way, organizations can ensure that there are unified standards and governance over the processes inside the organization. And this helps to ensure that all the applications are developed and deployed according to the same set of standards, which is reducing the risks of errors and or inconsistencies. So that's pretty cool stuff. If we talk about the features, then infrastructure clutter, let's talk about that, and tracking the software inventory using, let's say, what you do in old-fashioned ways, CSV files. It can be a little bit time-consuming and error-prone. So to provide developers with great experience, it is essential to create an inventory of the entire architecture, including CI/CD workflows, the clusters, the dev environments, pipelines, deployments, and anything basically cloud-related. Port does that. So Port is a developer platform that supports the wide range of data models, allowing developers to bring their own data models. You can do that as well. Another key features you can see on the screen of an internal developer portal is developer autonomy. So developers should be able to follow a golden path for everything, from scaffolding and deploying an application to reverting changes, provisioning an environment, and accessing temporary cloud resources. Port provides developers with a stateful, rich interface that includes baked-in guardrails to ensure that that there's compliance with organizational policies and best practices and things like that. You can also create scorecards in another essential feature of a good developer portal, because scorecards can help like use to track like your DORA metrics and health checks and production readiness and reliability with the granularity and the context required to foster a culture of quality and best practices in software development. Another thing you can see over here is no code role-based access control, which is also another crucial feature for a comprehensive developer portal. And Prod provides role-based access control by user and team with permissions for read, write, and self-service actions. This also allows developers to enjoy the breadth of comprehensive developer portal while maintaining clarity and boundaries where necessary. So overall, internal developer portals like Port are essential for platform engineering, as they help to streamline the software development and deployment process, increase developer productivity, foster a culture of quality and best practices, and also ensure compliance with organizational policies and guardrails. Pretty cool stuff. One thing you may be having in mind is, Kunal, how does it compare with something like Backstage? So on the main website, if you can check right now, you'll see that how it compares with Backstage. Right, I'm not going to read it all because I think for your own research you can try it out, and it's on the main website. I'll leave these, by the way, links in the description below so you can check it out. So a lot of things that might not be available here in Backstage, you can find it in Port, and why teams choose Port, stuff like that. So you can check out their blogs and all these other things as well. Awesome. Now to the main part, demo time. Let's do a little demo and see how it works, and let's have some fun. Okay, so getting started is pretty simple. I can click on try now. I can click on I want a free account. I can sign up, and if you want to schedule like a time in-person demo, you can do that. Live demo, you can check it out. We'll show you later on. I'm just going to sign up with Google, and that should be basically around it. Cool. Pretty much it. Yeah. Very cool stuff. So they have a visual blueprint editor available over here. So what you have to do is that first you have to, let me just tell you, you have to define a blueprint, okay? And you have to define a blueprint, and then you can create like a few blueprints, like the service blueprint available over here, an environment one, you can have a running service if you want, things like that. And then you create your entities, okay? And then you create a relation, and then you basically run the service entity. Okay, that's basically about it. Pretty simple stuff. I'm going to close this. So you can see visual blueprint editor. You can use that. So it says letting you simply use the interface to edit the blueprint properties and relations instead of using the JSON schema. So you can use both if you want. And it says dev portal builder, choose from template or add a custom blueprint. Let's choose for template. Map your Kubernetes ecosystem. Let's try Kubernetes one. Yeah, can do that. Choose a source, cluster or Argo. Let's say we do cluster, Argo is coming soon. So it says let's developers to see the architecture of your Kubernetes clusters. So all the things that I mentioned, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. All the things I mentioned, like you'll be able to see and developers will be able to see, and I have a one source of truth sort of thing that's going to happen over here. Get this template. Pretty cool stuff. So it's creating it, and here we have it. The blueprint for your namespace. So you have your pod for workload, namespace, node, and your cluster. So how these things are connected with each other. And you can expand on these as well. You can check out the properties, right? And do all sorts of things with it. It's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. It says complete setup. So run the script in your terminal to get started. So we're going to have to run this. So let's do that. And let me just see if you can add in. So here basically you can add in more, more stuff from here. And if we talk about clusters, so you can you can manually add your cluster as well. Let's say if I want to manually add, then I can give it a title and team. You can do the JSON mode as well. So then I can just say, let's say demo to generated icon Kubernetes. Team, I don't have a team right now, so I'm just going to say create. Okay, demo cluster is created. Here you can add a visualization like a pie chart and things like that. Okay, so you can check out my nodes and all sorts of things. All right, cool. You can delete it from here if you want. Yep, no problem. And you can also have a self-service hub, which is available over here. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. So that's how you build the portal. It's saying complete the setup. So follow these steps to quickly get started with the Kubernetes catalog template. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to open up my terminal. All right, so I'm going to say my cluster. So I'm going to export just the cluster name. That's good. And then my client ID here. And then my secret here. And I'm going to have my call command here. There you go. Helm command found, keep call command found, all in command found. You're not currently connected to a Kubernetes cluster, obviously. So you have to be connected. I'm gonna let's not do Docker. You can do Docker if you want. I am gonna run it. I'm gonna use Sivo. So we're gonna use Sivo here. And I already, I think, have a Kubernetes cluster running, right? So I'm gonna just download this, say I download the config file. Okay, and then I can just say export kubeconfig is equal to looks good. Yeah, and now I can install. Now everything is valid. It's installing it now. Finished installation done. So waiting for setup to be completed. Okay, now if you go to my clusters, my cluster, there we go. Awesome. Now you can see everything here, right? You can see all sorts of things. So I can see the overview, can see like based on namespaces, and say I talk about this. So all the related entities I'm able to see, like, okay, this is related to this, and or you can create self-service actions and stuff. You can learn more about it, like what are self-service actions. Okay, you can do that. If you want me to do like some more specific use cases, let me know in the comment section below. Happy to do it. And it's giving you the JSON file for this as well, and it's a Kubernetes exporter. Okay, So overview, and there we have it. Cool. Awesome. Let's say if I create a custom one. No, not a custom one. If I just go to my clusters and I go to my cluster, it says add a visualization, maybe a pie chart, blueprint across, let's say node, choose a value, let's say total CPU limit, demo, save. So here we have it, right? Like you can create more like you can create more complex dashboards. I'm just showing you the basics right now, and then I'll show you like an overview of a bigger picture as well. So nodes, workloads, you can see your pods and stuff over here. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah. See all your pods available and the workloads and namespaces and nodes, all sorts of things. Okay, so if I want to see for this namespace, clusters, and all the related entities. Cool. Let me just show you a little bit more of a complex demo here. So here we have the platform running, and here you can do a bunch of things. So you can we talk about developer portal. Here we go. So this is a portal setup page where platform engineers define the schema for the entities in the software catalog that we talked about before, and each schema is called a blueprint. So developer self-service actions and scorecards are defined here as well. And it says that let's take a look at the service blueprint, extend it. Here, this is what I was talking about. So each blueprint, it says, has three main sections: properties, self-service actions, and scorecards. So actions and scorecards. So properties, so you can see over here what are the properties, and then the actions like scale up, trigger an incident, add a secret, delete repo, open Terraform, deploy service. You can get information around it as well, and some of the scorecards as well. Okay, for documentation, what's the score, and things like that. So this you can get for every single one of these. Okay, I'll zoom out a little bit. We talk about for, let's say, my running service here, expand it. Some of the properties available, the used packages, the cloud resources, right? The related environments. So this is what I was talking about. Like you can see what sort of, services and like objects and stuff connect to which sort of service. Okay, so you get this overall picture, nice, available over here, which is extremely handy, and how it can help save time and efforts, as we just spoke about it. So your package, properties, actions, and scorecard. This is what the platform engineers can create and add, and that looks pretty nice. Cool. You can talk about you can check all the services like shipping service, pricing service. Who are the code owners for these services? You can click on those people as well. You can get details about them and all the related entities for them. Okay, so what all things they have access to. So you can have this sort of like management as well. You can check out all the domains, like which domains have which teams. Similarly, we can have teams if we talk about users and teams. So we have users and we have team. So team, Superman, Batman, but you can have like dev team, testing team, and so on and so forth. So you can utilize it accordingly, and then you can apply these team roles based on specific actions. Okay, you can check your running services here, right? And you can even go into the minute details of it, like the merge PR associated with it. So this basically is, as you can see, it's a view of an individual entity, and the relations for this entity are described here. So what this entity is related to, you can find it in every single entity in a dedicated page. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to show you is scorecards are fine, but one thing I want to show you is if you visualize it, you can see it in a graph form. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. Okay, so here you can see it in a graph format, right? And if I can just, you can also edit like individual sections that are available here. But this is what I was talking about. See, in a graph format, you can see it. How this service, how this entity is connected to other services. So like test, this is connected to this cloud account, this service, this domain, this third party, this cloud resource. So cool. That's the power. That's what I was talking about. Now all the things you mentioned, I'm seeing it in action. All right. Let's move forward. You can talk about your deployments. Let's say we talk about staging. So same thing. Again, you can check out the graph for this, how this thing actually works. See, right? So this is your staging entity and how it relates to other entities. Similarly, the dashboards, you can add visualizations, your runs, your audit logs, okay? And how it's linked with the PR, the Jira ticket, and everything. You can reach, you can check it out in one place. And the user for this and all sorts of things. That's pretty cool. Similarly, Kubernetes clusters. I think this is a really important one. If I talk about the dev clusters, obviously you can check out the cloud provider, the config file, and the Kubernetes dashboard. You can check that out as well. The Grafana URL, everything is available in one place. Alert manager URL, Prometheus, Kiali. Nice to see Kiali here. Nice. All right. So you click on one particular cluster. You can get all the details with it, and you can get all the related entities. So if I go to the graph, for my this Kubernetes cluster, this dev cluster, we have all of these things that are associated with it, all of these related entities with it. So cool, right? Awesome. Similarly, you can take a look at the cloud resources, same stuff, cloud accounts, talk about this account, then you can talk about the Kubernetes clusters in this, dev and test, and the team which manages this, right? And you can talk about the permissions, so each user, what kind of permissions they have, and no related cloud source, you can edit all these things if you want, and the status and everything, okay? Developer environments, you can see over here, you can add new environments and stuff, and select the services that you want to add, and time to live value, the team, let's say team Spider-Man. I'm just going to add test and create a new environment. There you go. Creation is initiated. You can see the development process and everything, the status. Okay, packages, another cool one. So you can check out all the packages and how those work and which specific languages they are from, because you're going to be working with devs, so this is extremely important. So we talk about, let's say, PyTest, where that is being used, let's say in which service, So here we have it. And similarly, now you can track also how it failed and where it failed. Similarly, yeah, package versions, you can check those out. The versions are versions, change and severity that they have. Third-party stuff, like any third-party applications like, SendGrid or Twilio or Maps APIs or Stripe, whatever you're using. Let's check out Stripe. So again, you can check out the team that is available with it, all the running services in it, the development environment, the deployment, all sorts of things. Lastly, but not the least, alerts. So server down alert. If I talk about this, for example, you can check out the logs. You can similarly check out the status for this and the running service. Individually services, you can click on these. You can check out the graph and how that relates, so on and so forth. So I think that's pretty cool. And you can check out the audit logs as well, the blueprints, the runs, overall very cool stuff. So, right. So I think it's pretty cool. And you can definitely check out their documentation to learn more about how to do it in a JSON format. I don't think you need to now, but if you like doing that, well, I mean, I kind of do. So you can work with it. But I think this new, the UI feature, I think that's pretty handy. So I think that's pretty cool. Lastly, I'd just like to mention, if you like this demo, you can take a screenshot and share it on socials and tag Port and share what you learned. And speaking of sharing what you learned, we also are running blogging challenges. So we give away some exciting prizes like MacBooks and stuff. This month, we're giving away some nice, expensive Kubernetes original, O'Reilly books, like Kubernetes patterns, production, Kubernetes networking, and all sorts of things. You're also going to win 25,000 rupees. So all you have to do is write a blog around whatever you're learning, and you can take part in the cloud track. You can write about it. How to take part is given over here. So obviously, I'll link all the links in the description below, so you can check it out. So yeah, do take part in our blogging challenges and win some exciting prizes and share what you learned about Port. Really excited. So lastly, if you have any questions, leave those in the comment section below. All the resources and everything I will leave in the description below, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.